Hi, I'm Captain Reverend Zach.
And I'm Francis.
And welcome to This Movie Was a Hot Dog, a podcast where me and my friend or my brother watch a bad movie, critically, financially, or otherwise, then we review it, break it down, and tell you what we think. And this week, before we get into the movie, we have a little bit of an announcement to make. Is that correct, my brother?
That is what I am aware of, yes.
This is actually, since we record these about several weeks before they're released, this date is actually our 1-year anniversary and our 25th episode. Yay!
This is great.
Yeah, so we've been doing this for a while, for a whole year now. It's been a lot of fun, and we actually got on our 1-year anniversary and our 25th episode recording, we got our first hate mail.
That was awesome.
We've been doing this for so long, and obviously because we're nobodies, and why would it matter? Nobody was ever talking to us. But in the past few weeks, we have been getting some people following, and we pissed off a guy enough that he would give us some hate mail. So I'm going to read his post real quick.
Trolls will be trolls, by the way.
I won't read his name, even though it's on the Facebook page.
You can go there and look it.
It says, so you guys essentially just do a lame ripoff of How Did This Get Made? 3 or more years behind them. Oh, I'm sorry. I should...
So you guys essentially just do a lame ripoff of How Did This Get Made? 3 or more years behind them? Brilliant. I won't even bother listening. Why is this a sponsored ad on my feed?
And I responded to him by saying there are a lot of bad movie podcasts out there, and there are a lot of podcasts that do the exact same thing. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to listen to, so you don't have to gang up on us for it. Also, it was a sponsored ad on your feed because you can take out a $5 ad on Facebook for 30 seconds, and it takes no time at all. And then I have to thank people. I'm sorry I don't have your names right in front of me, but people actually came to our aid and were like, hey, dude, calm down. And then he goes, smoke my pole, which I thought was hilarious. We achieved the ultimate goal of putting any sort of content out on the internet and having people hate it.
Hey,
so,
and in this case, no news is good news is not the good news.
Sure, I'm glad you took the time to say that sentence.
So,
what?
What?
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead. Fine.
So, God damn it, you made me lose completely what I was talking about.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh, Jesus. So, anyone who does listen, we really do appreciate it because we're brand new. To get all this stuff out of the way at the beginning, we'd really appreciate it. For those who do listen, if you get it on iTunes, go on iTunes, rate and review, maybe subscribe. Any sort of review actually helps the show get seen more. So if you like it, please do that. We'd really appreciate it. Also, we really love people getting involved. The Facebook actually has people talking now. That's great. If you want to send us some email too, we'll take email and any sort of links or attachments you got. You can send us email at moviehotdog@gmail.com. That's moviehotdog@gmail.com. We'd appreciate it. We have a Twitter that I sort of let die. Maybe I'll resurrect that at some point. That's at Movie Hot Dog. And we are on Facebook, obviously, at This Movie Was a Hot Dog. You can go there, and hopefully more people will send us hate mail, or people will actually tell us they like us. We'd appreciate both, frankly.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to go ahead and, if someone wants to come in and, put their opinions on the movie too, we'd really like that, because maybe you saw something in the movie we didn't, or found something even more awful, or maybe you actually liked the movie and you can let us know that too. We're open to all kinds of suggestions.
But it only took 1 year for anybody to care.
But that's okay, and we appreciate everyone listening.
Yeah, and we're doing these a lot more frequently. We've had some problems in the past with, audio and shit like that, but we're getting better at doing this since it's taken a year, so stuff's coming out more frequently. We'll have stuff more in the reg, and we appreciate you guys for hanging in there. Now that all that dick sucking's out of the way for everybody, this week we watched 1997's Batman and Robin by Joel Schumacher.
Oh, boy. And if you guys have listened to any of the previous episodes, you know I'm the comic nerd, so this has really been a fun treat for me.
This was a critical flop. Financially, it didn't do great in the United States, but globally it did. It had a budget of $125 million, and globally it made $238. So it was a pretty big hit. It made its money back, even though it was like, it's really hated now in retrospect, but it was also hated at the time. And it was one of those movies when I started to watch it, I was like, maybe this isn't as bad as everybody whines about because nobody has seen it since then.
Oh, it's bad.
Jesus Christ, is this movie a pile of shit?
There is nothing strings together well.
I can't figure out what in the holy hell this is supposed to be. So like the Adam West Batman was silly, but it worked because it was supposed to be kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and watch those now, you go like, "Oh, they're in on the joke."
Right.
Like they know this is kind of goofy. Tim Burton's Batman was kind of cartoony,
had a dark feel to it.
And it works because like the gothic atmosphere he gives it sort of like plays into this like everything's like a Dutch angle and oddly lighted because he's making it all Tim Burton-y, and it works. Joel Schumacher, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, man. Like, why? It's like everything is like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon. It looks silly, but it's treated dead seriously.
Oh yes, it's the whole movie. You can tell that the directing of it was like, hey, this is a serious movie. We're gonna put little jokes in, but yeah, you can definitely tell they were trying or something.
Oh yeah, George Clooney walks on screen. He's like, Alfred's dying. I need your help. He has the worst disease in the world. And in the background, the whole set's going like, beep, 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 beep. He's like in front of a fucking circus for like half of this movie.
And none of the characters are developed at all.
Oh, this is definitely a movie where they're just like, you saw the other Batman movies. They don't take the time to explain anything to you or tell you who anybody is. You know that's Batman, you know that's Robin. If this was 1997 and you didn't see any of the other movies and you just walked into this one, good luck.
Yeah, and if you weren't even, say you weren't a comic fan or something, someone would say, hey, you weren't a big Batman fan. Say, hey, come see Batman and Robin. Oh, okay, I mean, I know the characters, and you know Batman and Robin, but yeah, you might not have heard of Mr. Freeze or
any of this shit. Maybe
Poison Ivy.
Like they don't say Robin's like name Dick Grayson for like 30 minutes, and then it's just in passing. Like nobody is set up. It's just like the movie starts and it's just like, hey, Batman, here we go. Well, actually, no, that's not. The movie starts as a close-up on Batman's codpiece, bat ass, and bat nipples.
Yeah, that was awful.
Like, it literally, the first shot of the movie is a codpiece. Then the second shot of the movie is a man's ass. Then the third shot are two fake nipples. And then that's when you just go, oh, this is what this is.
Bat nipples, yum.
That was so crazy.
That's the point.
I mean, this was just, it was fucking nonsense from second one.
And I mean, and from there, it goes right into, I guess we're going to go into the movie now. And from there, it goes right into, what, Gordon calling Batman?
Oh, so they put on their cod pieces and they get into their, their separate mobiles, and Alfred goes, I'll cancel the pizzas.
Which is...
Why? We live in a fucking mansion. I have to order pizza?
Well, I don't know. I guess Alfred always had those kind of one-liners, though.
Alfred, make me a goddamn pizza.
Yeah, from scratch, by the way, since I'm paying you probably, $80,000 a year.
Right, exactly. Make me a goddamn pizza. So they're driving in the Batmobiles. Then suddenly, Commissioner Gordon's face pops up on Batman's steering wheel and says, Batman, we have a new villain. It's Mr. Freeze.
What is this, a video game? We have a new villain.
It's not. No, this isn't even a video game. This is literal dialogue from a comic book panel.
Yeah, and he's like, he calls himself, and again, it's like 1960s comic panel.
We have a new villain.
Look, Surely these 5 costumes youths can't.
Oh, we'll have problems with the dialogue because the dialogue in this fucking movie.
Right, he calls himself Mr. Freeze. Did he tell you that? Like personal? Like how do you know?
Yeah, and it's just what qualifies as a new villain as opposed to just like a bad guy.
We have a new villain. Like, what are you looking up the encyclopedia of DC villains?
Let's take a step back for just a minute. Did you notice the Batmobile has like a giant rotating disco light in the hood?
No, I didn't.
In the front of it, because the front of it is it's like a rib cage, but it's clear, and inside is just like a rotating ball of multicolored light. It looks like a toy.
I guess he's not going into stealth anytime soon.
Well, I think we should knock this out of the way. This movie was made to sell toys.
Yeah, and a lot of toys were made from this movie.
This movie was made to sell McDonald's toys and Hot Wheels playsets.
Yeah, and figures. And action figures, of course.
Figures.
So,
figures?
Figuras. So they head to... Oh, what is Mr. Freeze trying to do? Steal diamonds, right?
He's trying to steal diamonds because... diamonds power his super suit and his ice laser, which are not how diamonds work.
Yeah, they have no cold property, really.
No, diamonds themselves, although may look like ice, are not actually cold.
But we're just going to, whatever. Okay.
Diamonds, okay, sure.
Oh, man.
Well, take us through the museum fight.
So they show up, and of course the whole thing is on ice. Because he froze the floor with his diamond-powered freeze gun.
The first 3 things he says are just ice puns.
So they start fighting, of course, like, what is it, Batman and Robin come, like, they do this, like, sliding thing down this ramp, and I'm like... No. They clack their heels together. Oh, and ice skates, because they've planned for this, of course.
And ice skates pop out of their boots.
Wasn't this a new villain? I thought this was supposed to be a new villain.
No, it's their standard equipment. They always have ice skates. Where are the blades hiding? What, are they inside their feet?
Were they sideways and then come out? Well, here's my thing. How did they plan for this when if Doctor... Yeah, he is a doctor. Mr. Freeze is supposed to be a new villain as well. But But anyways, and of course they have to fight the evil Mr. Freeze hockey team.
Yes, his entire gang is like a bunch of Canucks. Because they're always wearing, like, these big fur parkas.
Well, they're freezing. Mr. Freeze isn't.
Yes, yeah, I'm aware of that.
So what is it? They're, like, playing hockey, so they're pushing the
They're playing hockey because they're trying to get this diamond that he's stealing. The Freeze gets the diamond, and he's like, oh, no, I'm going to get away. I drove here in a car, so I get in my car, and then it turns into a rocket ship. Why does he get in a goddamn rocket ship and go to space?
Or try to. And then...
No! He goes to space!
And then... Well, Batman's chasing him, so he gets in the... but Robin's, like, busy trying to get the diamond, or defeat the thugs, right?
You asking me or you telling me?
I'm telling you. Batman's fighting Robin is. Batman gets in the rocket ship with him, but Freeze has already planned for this, apparently, because he's like, he freezes Batman's hands to, like, the inside of the cockpit, and then he's like, I'll just jump out with my wings.
Yeah, he's like, you stay here, Batman. Also, this spaceship to the moon is now a bomb. He jumps out the door, and giant, like, mechanical dragon wings pop out of his back.
And here's my thing.
What the fuck was that?
So, what if Batman had never showed up? Was he going to fly up there and just jump out?
Was he going to go to the moon? Where he literally says this is going to space. He says that because he's like, Batman, when you get to space, you're going to freeze to death.
Right.
And then Robin is on the outside of the rocket ship, outside of a rocket ship.
And able to hold on. And
he gets inside.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And able to not freeze to death in the Earth's atmosphere, as they're getting higher in the Earth's atmosphere.
Well, they're not there yet. They didn't get to the freezing
higher
part.
You go, I mean. So Freeze comes out with his dragon wings, and Robin comes in, and he has a little heat gun that.
Not even a heat gun.
Laser.
He has a goddamn laser beam.
Where did they get?
Everybody, all 3 of them, Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, at least 2 times each, pull out a goddamn laser gun.
Which they could have just shot the villain with anyway.
I was going to say, point that shit at Poison Ivy and just blow a hole in her head. We got laser pistols, and it's not like a little thing where it's like a little scalpel, and it's like a surgical... No, it's a fucking laser... It's a laser blaster. So, he laser blasts Batman out of this thing. Then, they're both about to open 2 separate doors on this rocket ship to nowhere, and Robin goes... Hey, better call a taxi. And then Batman goes, hey, watch your first step out there. And then Robin goes, surfs up. Hey, Francis, did you fucking get it? Do you get it yet? We're all talking in wacky catchphrases. Nobody says a goddamn sentence in this movie.
And then, we gotta back up with the freaking the escape hatches. So Freeze was originally probably supposed to go up by himself, and he used a hatch. So you're telling me there's 3 escape hatches for one guy?
They're not even like hatch. It's not even like, oh, you do this and put a parachute on. It's just a door.
You just walk out the door.
It's just the door that they open up.
And then somehow they're able to. First off, the physics. There's many physics-defying things in this movie.
Say what they do.
They surf through the atmosphere down
on metal doorways that were on a spaceship.
Yep, and
Robin goes cowabunga because it's the 90s.
You probably wrote down all the catchphrases. I didn't.
Oh no, I stopped. I had to write down that one. It was like, "Hey, we better call a taxi. Watch your step on the way out. Surfs up. Woo, cowabunga." It's like I'm gonna kill myself.
And people went to see this.
In droves.
Of course, because I was going to say because Batman Forever was good. Oh, it's not good.
This though is the reason we didn't get another Batman movie for like 10 years. This movie happened and we all went, oh no, we all need to put this behind us. And then 9/11 happened and we all grew up.
Yeah, and then we got, was it Batman Begins?
Correct. So they land on top of a roof after chasing Mr. Freeze with his demon wings. They chase him through a building that is nothing but a series of vault doors.
And
did you notice that?
Is this where he gets in his tank too?
Oh, all he drives is a tank.
It's like, where did he get this?
And how does nobody know where it is?
I mean, it's huge.
So he freezes Robin, and then and he's like, Batman, you have 11 minutes to thaw Robin or he dies. That's very important because we say that like 6 more times.
11 minutes, that's the magic number. We went with a good prime number,
11 minutes. So Freeze gets away while Batman uses his laser gun.
And throws him in water.
And then meanwhile in the rainforest...
Oh, yeah, and then that's it. So Freeze gets away, right? And then we go to the rainforest, and we meet a girl who they don't really let us know who it is.
If you've had any questions about who anybody was up until this point, fuck you, not telling you, movie.
But this is actually Dr. Pamela Isley, who is going to become Poison Ivy. So she's all into plants and stuff like that, and she goes to see her colleague, who I don't remember, Woodrue or something like that.
I just remember she's working on trying to cross plants and animals, which will never work. So that just won't work.
We've already talked about, physics is wrong, so science is also wrong in this.
And she works for a mad scientist who is making a giant madman super soldier to sell to the world's bad guys, who are represented by 3 Arab-looking guys, 2 African warlords, and a guy who looks like Castro. And this is the character Bane's first cinematic appearance.
Now, I would like to intervene here.
Okay.
Now, Bane, this is completely nothing of like how Bane is.
None of this is like how anything is. Francis, this isn't how a movie goes.
Well,
in a normal movie, you explain who your characters are. You don't go like, they'll know.
So they just put venom in this guy. And he turns into Bane.
They put poison in him, and he turns into a Muppet with a luchador mask on.
I thought that Lucha Libre wrestler.
He looks like a fucking puppet with a luchador mask on. And he just goes...
Yeah, that's all he's capable of, is grunts and
Actually, you can understand him just as well as you can understand Tom Hardy in the new Batman. That's about how this Bane talks, so they got that in common.
So Bane just, like, wrecks a bunch of people?
And then evil mad scientist sees Poison Ivy, who isn't Poison Ivy yet, Pamela Lansbury? What's her name?
Pamela Isley.
Pamela Isley.
Played by Uma Thurman.
Oh, there you go, Uma Thurman.
She was very beautiful in this, I just say.
Yeah. So, did you see, he's, what?
I don't know.
What are you whispering under your breath?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
I'm ready.
Okay.
My body's ready.
So, oh, Jesus Christ, man. All right. So, Pamela Lansbury sees him, and she's like, oh, what are you doing here? Something dialogue, throws poison on her. The ground swallows her up like there's a goddamn graboid under there. And then, like, 20 minutes later, she just, like, is rebirthed from the ground, but now she has red hair and she has poison.
Right, and she's like, oh, I like you, and she kisses him, and that kills him.
Right. Okay, then she frees Bane, and she's like, Bane, listen to me now. And he's like, okay, whatever. That's all we hear about them for like 20 minutes. Cut back to Batman and Robin are in the Batcave. Robin has a cartoon cold because his feet are in a bucket of hot water. He has a blanket around him and a big old thermometer in his mouth.
Yeah, is this Looney Tunes?
Yes. Nobody really does that.
I know.
They explain who Mr. Freeze is. Oh, his wife has the disease, and he froze her to try to cure her, and then he fell into a pot of ice water, and now he's an Iceman. Got it. Batman is angry at Robin for getting frozen, and he says, you'll be ready after you spend 1,000 hours in the simulator. What simulator? What is it for? What does it do?
Have we seen it? What?
Have we seen it? What is the Batman simulator?
What movie is that in?
It's such a throwaway line, but I was so angry.
Well, how many things don't they tell us in this movie?
Well, then they show us stuff we never need to see, like we cut to Mr. Freeze at his hideout trying to make his henchmen sing Mr. Heat Miser.
Which I found was a pretty funny scene.
What are you, 8 years old? First of all, his hideout is in the middle of Gotham, and it is a giant snow cone.
No one will know.
And no one knows that that's him. Also, he is wearing a robe and slippers. Those are things that would make him warmer than he is.
And he can't get, the whole thing is that he can't warm up.
Yes, thank you. That's why I said that as a joke.
Oh.
All right, anyway, moving on. The henchmen are trying to eat frozen dinners, but they are just blocks of ice.
I didn't recognize
like,
that.
Yeah, they each got frozen TV dinners in their hands, and they're, like, licking on them.
Okay, that's good.
What is the hiring practice for this shit?
Yeah, what is that in the contract, you know?
So Freeze uses diamonds to power his power suit. He's like, I want to... He's like, his plan is freeze Gotham so that he can hold it ransom for $1 billion so that he can get research money?
Why doesn't he just start like a, Fund Me Now or something?
Or like apply for a grant.
I'm sure someone will help him.
Like, dude, you were still a doctor. Hell, even the novelty of being a living frozen man, that's got to get you some money, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like, you don't think people are going to be like, oh, he's trying to, sell, cure this disease. We should probably give him some money.
Not even that. It's like, hey, that guy's literally a walking block of ice. Let's just keep him around. Yeah, give him whatever he wants. No, he's like, I'm evil now.
Yeah, so that, what is he? And his little secret compartment in his hideout is like a box of cereal or something?
It's a box of Hungry Man.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's 2 frozen Hungry Man dinners.
And he moves them like when all his henchmen are there. It's not like it's a secret area for them.
Well, they know about it. His fucking hideout is in Times Square, and it's a giant snow cone, and everybody's singing Heat Miser at the top of their lungs. He's hardly hiding.
And to think, this is only, 20 minutes into the movie?
I don't fucking know. This movie is longer than Star Wars. This shit is so fucking long, and nothing happens in it. No, there's no character development at all. Nobody's doing shit. This movie's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Yeah, and it's just like Arnold Schwarzenegger as as Mr. Freeze. It's like, oh my Lord.
And then this is the point where Alicia Silverstone just walks in a frame.
Right.
No big entrance. It's just a flat shot of the Wayne Manor door, and she just walks in a frame and knocks on the door.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Barbara. I'm Alfred's. So Alicia Silverstone, is she the worst actress in the world?
I was more thinking of the fact that really we couldn't get it right that it's Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
Well, all right, nerdy. Take it easy.
No, I am not going to take it easy. This is ridiculous.
I'm more worried that she is like the worst actress I've ever seen in my life. How did they film this and go like perfect? She can't act her way out of a wet paper bag.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Because you were probably too... Harump! Don't we know that this is Commissioner Gordon's daughter? I'm going to pen a letter to Joel Schumacher and email it to 1997.
No, I didn't want to do that. He's already apologized for the film.
George Clooney has actually been known to refund people who can prove that they've seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
And I just want to mention one again, before I was off topic for just a second, just like all the other old Batman movies, do you notice that Batman cannot turn his head?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up. When George Clooney is in the Batman costume, he looks like he looks like he's a goddamn mummy. He can't when he has to turn to look at Robin when he yells at him or something, he has to move his entire body. It's not even like a little bit of a like, oh, his neck looks kind of stiff. Like, he cannot move.
Do you know this problem was not corrected until the new Batman films when he was like, I'd like to be able to move my neck.
So you mean the next movie?
It was Beyond? I thought it was Dark Knight.
Which is what? That you said that they didn't correct it to the next movie.
Was it Batman Beyond? Either Batman Beyond or Dark Knight is when they finally correct it.
It's Batman Begins. Hey, you can't be like, well, I'm the resident Batman nerd, and then get that shit wrong.
I know, I feel horrible. Why don't you just continue with the plot? So, Batgirl, Barbara shows up at the manor.
And then she's just there now. Also, George Clooney is rocking a turtleneck and a black blazer in this. He looked pretty sweet.
What? Who cares?
I don't know. I just saw that, and I was like, he's pulling that off.
Okay.
I don't know. I wrote it down. But also, it's around this time that we discover that Alfred's entire family is butlers.
So it's a guild of butlers.
Like, every single male in his family is a butler of some kind.
They all went to the same college.
I was going to say, do you get bred into that? Is that a thing that you're born into?
I don't know. Just have a good retirement plan. So,
like, the first night that Batgirl's staying at what's her name? Barbara Bush is staying at.
I don't know.
So Barbary Pennyworth, as you just said, is staying at Bruce Wayne's house, and the very first night she sneaks out and like. This goes to the Robin sitting there with his feet in the bucket of hot
just
water.
Like Looney Tunes with the rope with the bed sheets.
Yeah. Who makes a rope that's made out of like 10 bed sheets tied together? Nobody does that. Also, not a single person goes like, Barbara, don't go out at night. Nobody ever says that to her. Just go like, I'm going for a walk. See you guys later, and leave. Go through the front door. Why does she got to sneak out?
And then she's borrowing a motorcycle.
Yeah, but she could still go out through the front door. It's not like... Also, they're all in bed. Nobody's sitting by the front door. Just open it and leave,
and the house is like the size of a city block.
Right, exactly. Like, there's no reason for her to, like, tie her bed sheets together and scurry down the floor. So we cut to the opening, of Gotham. Well, it's not the opening. The Gotham Observatory, which would not work as an observatory in the middle of a giant city. You couldn't even see an airplane flying above that city with all the light.
Yep, you're right.
And this observatory also looks like a goddamn Chuck E. Cheese. Did you see all the fucking laser beams and planets flashing on the wall? Why is this like an arcade in there?
Joel Schumacher.
Speaking of Joel Schumacher, let's talk about the fucking architecture of this city.
It just looks
The
like
observatory it's a giant observatory, right? So it's like, what, 5 stories tall? And it is built on the hands of a statue that's like 1,000 feet in the sky.
how do you get up there anyways, too?
There are skyscrapers that are sitting in the palms of these, like, Goliath wonders of the world, these statues. Like, who are these statues of?
I don't know. Are there elevators, too? Like, that go sideways? Or is it just stairs?
It's almost like they built 30 statues that were 1,000 feet tall and then built buildings on them.
And who's the architect? You imagine being outside, like, laying the outside of that down as an architect and, like, the contractors?
And again, who are these statues of? Who are they?
I don't know.
It's all a bunch of dudes. What? Like, our city is built on these dudes' faces. Who the fuck are these people?
They're the gods, I guess.
So, at this observatory where he's like, I'm donating this thing that I own because I'm George Clooney. So, Uma Thurman's there, and she's like, I'm going to walk. Also, she's got, like, a Greta Garbo thing going on where she's like, oh, well, excuse me.
And oh, wait, what happened to the red hair, too?
She put a wig on.
Oh.
She put a wig in the car that Bane was driving.
That's right.
And his disguise is he wears a hat.
Like Raphael.
And he has a luchador mask on, and he's a giant Muppet person, but he puts a hat on.
Welcome to Gotham.
So she runs up to Bruce Wayne because she's trying to, like, I don't know, before she decides to destroy the world, she's going to, like, level with him.
Can I intervene here?
Of course.
And I love how at this point she's like, I need to talk to Bruce Wayne. And I love how the police go up to her and they're like, you have to have an appointment to talk to Bruce Wayne.
Not even go up to her. 5 police are just following her going like, please stop. No, you can't. No.
But you have to have I'm like, who are you, his secretaries?
Yeah, you have to have an appointment to talk to Bruce Wayne. He's not the fucking mayor.
And like, just block her.
Or arrest her if she gets too
Kick her
close.
down the stairs. Who knows, you know?
Well, you don't have to kick her down the stairs.
Well,
Jesus.
I don't know, you know.
Well, you got to do something. It's either kick her down the stairs or what next?
And she's all about, like, boohoo environmental plants and stuff to him.
I have this written in a note because this character comes up a couple of times and I didn't understand it. So at the observatory unveiling, there's this woman called Gossip Gertie.
Gossip Gertie?
Yeah, she's on the radio. They say her by name, and then she's the MC at the auction. She's the MC at the party for the observatory later, and the press conference for the observatory. Was this a character in the comic book? Because she's in it a lot.
No, she is. I know
somebody who was friends with the producer, probably.
She actually appears in Batman Returns.
Oh, so she is a character.
Yep. She's her. The whole spin on her is she's.
I don't care. I just wanted to know if she was a character.
I'm not done. No. I'm going into this. She's Gotham City's top gossip journal columnist, and and she's also Bob Kane's wife.
Great. I don't know who that is, and that means
Bob
nothing.
Kane created Batman.
Oh God. Okay.
Now, also. She also is a Gotham woman commenting on Oswald Cobblepot in Batman Returns.
Is that all the facts?
That's right, but that's Bob Kane's wife.
I got it. I heard it.
Anyways, go ahead.
That is a big. So the next scene is the Wayne Enterprise auction. Wayne Enterprise. Oh, it is Wayne Enterprise.
Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne Enterprises auction, where we're just like. There's about 30 women swinging from vines, and there's, like, giant people in gorilla suits. Like, why is the theme of this auction the Congo?
It was a little strange.
It made no sense. They weren't like, if they were like, this is to, give the children in Africa drinking water, or we're going to do this to stop blood diamonds. They're just like, nope, it's African-themed, and if a guy came out in blackface, it would have made complete sense with everything else that was going on.
And I also believe Poison Ivy is in one of the gorilla suits, right?
She is in one of the 2 gorilla suits. The other one is Bane.
Okay, so that's them. And it's like, did no one go, who are these? What are these things?
No, because they probably stole them from the other dancers or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see now.
And she uses her pheromone dust or whatever it is to seduce everyone.
Oh, I have to say this because I have this in there because this was a scene before. So after she's talking on the observatory, that's when she decides, when Bruce Wayne's like, I don't want to listen to you, crazy woman. That's when she's like, I'm going to destroy Gotham. She goes, I'll do something, and then Gotham will be mine for the greening. What does that even? What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Greening.
The greening? It will be mine for the greening.
I guess it's supposed to be taking. I don't know.
It's just, everybody's like, I feel like they're like, puns. We need more puns, and then they ran out of puns, and they're just like, just say shit then.
Say shit that goes along with your character. Greening.
Just say stuff, whatever. So they're having the auction. They're auctioning off ladies. Then everybody turns around because Poison Ivy's music starts to play, which means that the music is playing at the auction. It's not just the movie music. And her, like, she's in a giant gorilla suit, like, it's giant, and she starts, like, sexy gorilla dancing.
She uses her pheromones.
No, she's sexy gorilla dancing to her Poison Ivy music, and everybody's like, oh, there's a sexy gorilla up there.
I forgot about that.
And then she takes off her gorilla suit, and it's Poison Ivy, and then as if this had been rehearsed at least a week, all of the dancers know the choreographed dance she had to get her from the back of the room to the stage. And then she uses her mood poison.
Mood poison. In this, also the dynamic duo are also affected by it.
All right.
They were.
So, yeah, they were. So then people start bidding on Poison Ivy in just for no reason that goes nowhere. Like, she's not there to steal anything or do anything. She just shows up and is all of a sudden part of the auction. And Batman and Robin start bidding for her because they're under the mood poison. And then, what does Batman pull out of his wallet, Francis?
The old Batman credit card. Never leave home without it.
Yeah, how long is it good for?
Life?
It says forever.
Yeah.
It's good forever.
It's a circus.
So Mr. Freeze shows up, and then there's
in his tank, of course.
Well, it's the only thing he drives.
How do you get a license for that?
Well, you don't. He's a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Bad guys don't have licenses for their things.
I like the spikes in the front of it.
There's not a bank robbery where the guy's got an automatic machine gun. They're like, where's your license for that?
Hey, do you ever carry permit?
So, there's a fight, and Mr. Freeze and Ivy meet, and it's whatever, and then everybody leaves. And
Freeze is captured, I think.
No, Freeze gets away because immediately there is the car chase where they drive on the shoulders of a giant statue man.
Again, we have some physics issues here.
Not even physics issues. Why is this statue the biggest thing in the city? These cars are dwindled on it. Also, this is a Hot Wheels set. This movie was meant to sell toys.
We reiterate that, folks. What?
Nothing.
I'm trying here.
Why do you gotta dip into, like, radio morning DJ voice all of a sudden?
That's just my thing.
We're just talking. You're like, hey, everybody, just to remember, I really don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, I do, kind of. So, yeah, then there's the race.
Anyway, there's a race. His tank jumps off the finger of a giant statue. The Batmobile follows it, and he captures Mr. Freeze. Meanwhile, Robin's like, you never trust me, Batman. You never let me do anything. And I cannot tell you how boring their drama was. Yeah,
because this is just, there's nothing comes of it really until, like, I guess some does at the end, but I don't know.
It's there's never any big conflict other than they're just like, you don't listen to me. And he's like, yes, I do. And then at the end, he's like, we like each other. Like, that's it.
Yeah, you never feel like, oh my gosh, they might actually break up. Like, they might.
Or like, fucking Robin, like, is like questioning whether or not to, like, let him fall off a cliff or something like that.
Yeah, no, you're never like, you're just like, okay, hurry up and kiss so we can get on with this.
Yeah, it's so boring. And the thing is, as we said before, this movie is super duper long. But there's no substance to it. Like, this movie is long because each one of these fights and car chases last like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's just
And there's
filling
like
time.
and there's like 5 of them.
I guess they just wanted to have as much action, quote unquote, as they could.
I mean, I guess it's so vapid. This movie is so empty of anything. It's huge, but there's nothing in it.
The whole movie just kind of just goes along, and then you're like, oh, it's over.
So back to the bullshit movie. Freeze is taken to Arkham Asylum, where he sits under a cold beam.
Can I interject here for just a second?
Of course.
So I love how like this is supposed to be a mental health facility, and the police are just like throwing him around and like.
And it looks like Dracula's castle.
And they're just like, ha ha, you're out of your cold thing. We're laughing at you. I'm like, boy, that's gonna make him better.
It's supposed to be a mental health facility, and they cut to it, and it's always thundering, and it's like, meanwhile in Transylvania.
Yeah, but he tries to get away, but it doesn't work because he has to be under the cold air or whatever from the ceiling.
The cold beam.
It's the beam or whatever.
So, meanwhile, what's her tits?
Poison Ivy?
Angela Lansbury is making her, she invades the lair of the Blacklight gang. What were they?
Wait, you mean Uma Thurman?
Yeah.
You said Angela Lansbury.
Oh, yeah, Uma Thurman, whoever.
Whatever at this point.
Not Catgirl. She's
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy. I'm sorry, I'm streaming Gotham right now on Netflix, and I have all these people run through my head.
If you want a Batman thing, watch that right now.
Save that for the suggestion.
Oh, sorry about that.
So Uma Thurman goes and invades the hideout of the Blacklight gang.
Mm.
Who are they? Are they a thing?
Yeah, those aren't. I don't think that's a.
It's a goddamn circus clown.
Even their weapons are neon black.
Their weapons are chains that they painted with blacklight paint.
I'm guessing they don't have a lot of employment going on.
So Bane kills them.
Yep.
And then Poison Ivy makes CGI plants come to life.
Yeah.
And then
it looks awful.
Then there's a 12-minute scene where Batgirl is in a motorcycle race that's run by Coolio.
And of course, Robin somehow gets into it as well.
Gets into the race. That's another thing that makes this movie 2 hours and 15 minutes long, is there's just a motorcycle race for no reason.
Episode 1, we're also looking at you. That's Star Wars.
Great Nintendo 64 game, though, Pod Racer.
I agree with that.
Then Poison Ivy breaks Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. Is it Mr. Freeze or Dr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze. You can actually say either or. But I wonder why you would say Mr. if he is actually a doctor.
He's a doctor. He went to school for all that time. He should have
He's a doctor of phrenology.
I'm a reverend. It took me 12 minutes on the internet, and I used that title. She breaks him out of Arkham by literally just walking into place.
Yeah, how did she get in? She's like, I'm his sister.
Yeah, but she walks in, and she looks like a Batman villain. It's like I feel like in this version of Gotham, if you're dressed like this, every cop should be like, hey, wait a minute.
There's no way you're not a Batman villain.
Are you a Batman villain? I heard Gordon say there's a new villain.
Are you that person?
Are you that villain? So she just breaks him out. That's another scene that goes nowhere. No one cares. Alfred's dying.
Yes.
He's been dying for like 2 hours now. And it finally just materializes as he's very tired. He looks like... First of all, I don't know who plays Alfred in this movie. This actor is about 1,000 years old. And he finally succumbs to this illness, and he just needs to take a nap all the time.
Just a little sleep will be okay.
He's very sleepy. But it will kill him.
No pain, just sleepy.
He's a very sleepy old man, but it will sleep him to death.
Oh boy! Meanwhile, back at the facade of this innocent-looking bookstore.
Back at
Arkham Asylum.
So Poison Ivy gets Mr. Freeze out,
and
Mr. Freeze
a partnership.
Yeah, that make the worst plan in the world.
Like, what are we gonna do? I'll just come up with something.
Well, what's their plan?
They're gonna They're gonna get. She's gonna take his girlfriend.
No,
wife.
their world domination plan.
Oh, the world. Oh, just freeze everything.
And then
Oh, then it's just gonna be them.
no, and then
I guess I forgot that part.
cover it in plants. It's an ice guy and a plant lady. Come on,
But that
man.
doesn't make any sense.
I know. I said that.
If everything's frozen, you can't have plants.
Well, they're like, oh, it'll be frozen, and then all the people will die, and then Poison Ivy's like, great, and then I can have the plants take the Earth over again, and Mr. Freeze is like, I love it, and you're like, wait, why? This is so bad for you, though.
It's like, whatever, I'll have my wife.
What are you gonna do when that? No, this is after he finds out that he thinks his wife is dead.
Well, and then there's also why, and then where's you going to get the money for the research?
I just said this is after he finds out his wife is dead.
That's right, yes.
I just said that.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm trying as hard as I can.
So, yeah, that happens as well. Uma Thurman is supposed to go save Mr. Freeze's wife, and she kills him, and she tells him that Batman killed him. But Batman actually gets there just in time and saves her. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter. And
they're going to do this with a giant freeze ray.
Yes, which they're going to use the Gotham Observatory telescope to turn into an ice laser because the telescope is also powered by diamonds for some reason.
What?
Diamonds are cold and telescopic, which they are neither.
And of course, through all this, Robin is also fighting with Batman, like, you want Poison Ivy and you're trying to get her from me.
And George Clooney's like, where are you? I can't move. Stop moving so fast, I can't turn my head.
Wait, Robin, where are you? Are you behind me?
I can't move my hips either. I have to swivel on my heels.
He looks so ridiculous.
Every time he moves, he has to turn his entire body.
Oh, no.
So they're at the party for the opening of this observatory, which is it looks like a discovery zone in there. There's a ball pit, and there's so many lights. And Commissioner Gordon is hypnotized by the mood dust.
Mood dust. Yep.
Or whatever. And then Alicia Silverstone breaks into the Batcave.
Because she finds the password off one of Alfred's discs or something.
Right.
Because he wants to talk to his brother. I don't know. What is going on?
Right. He wants to talk to his brother, but she gets there, and then there's a robot Alfred who's like, I knew you'd want to be Batgirl, so here you are. And she's like, wait, what?
And she's like, okay.
And now she's Batgirl. So Robin goes to Poison Ivy.
Hold on.
God,
I'm
completely lost.
We missed something there. So Poison Ivy gets the keys to the police building from him, and because she wants to know where the bat signal is. So he gives her the keys, and then
he is Commissioner Gordon.
Yes, Commissioner Gordon. I said that.
No, you didn't. But that's okay.
Fine if you okay. And then so they go to the police building, and they get to the rooftop, and I went, did no one say, hey, stop, No,
they got the keys. They snuck in.
I guess, but the whole way up to the roof, no one was like, hey, I don't know. Bane's kind of hard to miss. Oh,
that's the problem you have with this movie?
Well, no.
They stole a key and snuck into a building, and you're right, that's where this movie went wrong. When they had the key and they got in, I couldn't believe it anymore.
And then Bane breaks the bat signal.
Yep.
For, I guess, no reason but to turn it into a Robin signal?
Well, that is the reason.
I know. And so now you're back on track. Go ahead.
So he has the Robin. So they made a Robin signal because Robin's in love with that Poison Ivy. Robin shows up, gets seduced. Doesn't really matter because Batman and Batgirl also show up within 30 seconds. So it doesn't. Who cares? So they show up, and then Batgirl, whose outfit also includes high heels, which bad idea for doing karate.
Okay, yeah. So also Poison Ivy. There's a lot of times Uma Thurman, you watch her and she's walking and she's just barely making it because she has.
Of course, she probably her hair is 8 feet tall too.
Well, I'm like, look, she's walking around when she kicks Nora's tube off for her.
Who the fuck is Nora?
Mr. Freeze's wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When she's walking up to him, like, she might break her ankle.
It's because her center of gravity's at, like, her knees.
A little wobbly there.
So Batgirl and Poison Ivy fight, and then, like, she gets eaten by a plant for some reason. Like, she kicks her into a plant, and the plant eats her, and you're like, oh, I guess she's dead. Batman gets out of his trap, and Robin gets out of his trap, and they go, who are you? Are you some kind of Batwoman? And then she goes, Bruce, it's me, Barbara. I found the Batcave. Shoot me in the fucking head. With this dialogue, man. She reads it, too, like she's in a high school play. Bruce, it's me, Barbara. I found the Batcave.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, okay.
I can't stand the shit, man. I can't take it. I can't. I'm losing. When she said that, I almost lost my goddamn mind.
Let's see here.
So, Mr. Freeze freezes Gotham with the power of diamonds, and Batman goes, we have 11 minutes to thaw the city.
Of course, we knew that.
They say that shit like 5 times.
And then again, we have a long, meaningless fight that I didn't care about.
Batman unfreezes a couple of people with Batman-branded space heaters.
He just like, rip, puts it on, and then it's okay.
But it's got the Batman symbol on it. So there's a fight on top of the telescope, but while they're fighting, Mr. Freeze is moving the telescope to like crush him, and a recently thawed scientist is about to be crushed by an industrial telescope, and he yells, "It's one of those days!" What in the ever-living hell are you talking about?
One of those days.
What is that shit, man? Why is that in the movie? Why is that in the movie?
I don't know, man.
And then they beat Mr. Freeze, and they cure Alfred, and then the movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And that's pretty much it. So why don't you give us your review and then give us a something?
Well, I'll give my review and then you give your review. That's how we always do this.
All right, you start.
Whoa, what are you doing? Are you there? You got up and left, didn't you? You son of a bitch. Are you there, man? Oh, you just bailed. So anyway, Francis. Look who's back.
What?
Are you back?
Yes.
Bailed, didn't you?
Well, I figured you would be talking.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, you'd finish it up, and then I'd come back, and it'd be okay.
Nope, you made a bunch of loud noise when you ripped your stupid headphones off your big head, and I was like, oh, what was that? And then I heard you run away.
Damn.
So anyway, now that you're also here, I think, excuse me, professional voice now. This movie's horrible. Like I said when we started, I didn't know if maybe everybody just was like, oh, I remember this being bad. Maybe it aged a little nice. This movie aged like a brick of cheese, man. This thing is just, it's ugly. Like, forget that it's dumb. It's ugly to look at. Like, looking at this movie hurts your brain. The dialogue, 90% of which is puns, and the rest does nothing to progress the plot, is stupid. There's not even a plot. You have to know who everybody is and why everybody's there before you see this movie, or you won't know what anything is. It's a fucking cartoon that's treated like it's Shakespeare, and it's just painstakingly bad. The end. Excuse me.
All right, well, my review is that I think that Joel Schumacher needed to go back to comic book school to learn how to write a comic book movie. None of the characters are anything like their comic book selves. I know they probably said that wrong, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, Mr. Freeze, awful. Poison Ivy, awful. Batman, Robin, everyone. I fell asleep during the first part of the movie. Had to go back, watch it again. The movie was terrible. I don't even have anything else to say about it.
Okay. Well, for my suggestion, I'll actually do 2 Batman things. I'll try to stay away. I will stay away from the, watch Dark Knight and boo boo boo.
Yeah.
I got 2. Watch Batman the Animated Series It is an amazing series. If you have Amazon Prime, they're all in there. Highly suggest it. Those have actually not only held up, but have aged very well. They've gotten better over time, in my opinion, probably because when I saw them I was a kid and like couldn't appreciate how dark it is for what a cartoon it is. It's really good. My other one is, you know what? Batman 1989 with what's his name? Michael Keaton is a pretty good movie. It's kind of cartoony and it's kind of like exaggerated, but like I said, that works in the world that Tim Burton created. Joel Schumacher created, like, he took Blade Runner and fucking dumped the Power Rangers all over it, because I don't know what the fuck this place is. Batman 1989 or animated series?
I know that you said animated series. There's an animated movie. Can I go with that?
Mask of the Phantasm?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Amazing, amazing movie. Especially if you want to see a good Joker origin story, I believe, isn't it?
It is.
Yep. So that one's really good. And I know can I recommend a comic book?
I'll allow it.
Okay. There's a Batman story. You can get it in trade paperback, all the whole story in one book. The story is called Hush. It's about a new Batman villain named Hush. Very cool story, and Batman almost, well, like I said, a lot of his stories he almost doesn't make it, but this one is just really good. I loved it.
But this time he really almost
He
doesn't
really
make it.
That, or maybe I think there's a cartoon movie called The Long Halloween as well. So I didn't like the 1989 Batman. So
Really?
Nope, didn't like the movie.
Well, we'll have to talk about that off air.
Yeah, we will.
Or we could talk about it on air. We could do that for a movie one day. I mean, I could rip anything apart. But even though we said this at the top of the podcast, we'll say it at the end of the podcast as well. If you want to send us questions, comments, concerns, or hate mail, you can send those to us at moviehotdog@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at moviehotdog, or if you want to follow us and like us on Facebook, This Movie Was a Hot Dog. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, as it really helps the show.
That's awesome.
And you know what we say?
Always then, this movie was a hot dog.